Hi, I'm the looming cloud of depression that causes you to call out of work for 5 days straight. Yvonnedeculo.
Just real enough. And I'm that lumberjack you picked up from Grindr who doesn't quite look like his picture, Jgluum.
You've used that one before, but
Have
okay.
I?
And welcome to the Victory Lap, where we will be discussing the most recent episode of Season 10 of
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Welcome to the last ball on Earth, which is so sad because I love balls. Yuhua's gone. She left a little message on the board.
Tell him why it was funny.
In Chinese, what she was going for was "waini," which means "I love you." But somebody on Instagram broke it down that there's like one missing brush stroke, and it actually translates to "I'm a bottom," which is super freaking funny.
What an unfortunate phrase to be but a brush stroke from.
So throughout this whole episode, as well as in Untucked, we had a little bit of drama with Mayhem. She had some drama with Monique. She got herself lumped in the middle of some drama between Eureka and the Vixen.
It was such lackluster drama that I paid it dust.
I felt like Monique was more upset than Mayhem was.
For sure.
What did you think about the whole drama near the end?
Eureka needs to sit down and shut the hell up. I don't appreciate that Eureka is poking and prodding to make the Vixen seem like the angry black woman trope.
That's exactly why Mayhem getting involved and putting herself on Eureka's side upsets me, because Mayhem should be siding with the Vixen, and she should be able to see through this, that Eureka is trying to be like, oh, I'm the hero Caucasian and this is the angry black person.
Yeah.
And I feel like Mayhem should see through that and be like, no, I'm gonna stand with my sister because we've dealt with enough of this nonsense from y'all white people for long enough. I'm not gonna do this again and perpetuate the problem.
Especially when Eureka flat out admitted, like the oof she is, that she did it on purpose.
Yeah. So let's move to the mini challenge, onto something on a lighter note.
On a lighter note.
We had a celebrity photo bomb, green screen challenge, which was cute.
It was
there anyone that like
cute.
stood out to us being exceptionally good?
I'm just gonna stick to my guns with what I said last week, that these mini challenges are just
Nonsensical.
nonsensical. This is like out of a hat. Photo challenge, green screen, celebrity. I think I liked Monique's the best.
I really
honestly.
like hers the best
With the
too. It was
over the
really
shoulder,
funny.
like ooh, grabbing Nick Jonas's
Yeah.
package. I really like that one.
I also really enjoyed Blair flashing the paparazzi.
Oh yes, yes,
That
yes.
one was really
Blair's
funny
was
too,
fantastic.
and I thought it was so interesting. Aquaria won the challenge,
Aquaria won
and
it.
she didn't really get any like bonus or anything for the main challenge, but she won. And I thought hers was funny. Picking up the poop on the runway was funny, but I thought that Blair was more interesting to me, and I thought Monique was funnier. We got a little cameo from Sean Morales, one of our prominent pit crews from season 4, which ties into my whole like fan theory about what's going on with this season. But he looked so good, and it was nice to see him back on the show.
Side note, his nudes leaked. Not
Did they?
leaked, he did a nude photo shoot.
Oh, good for him.
Full nude photo shoot.
Good for him.
And it is as expected.
So this main challenge is kind of insane. It's the last ball on Earth, so they have to put together 33 looks across the board. 3 looks each, which is nuts. There's 11 girls.
This
early to have a ball, which I'm not mad about, because we really
No.
get to see some of those looks. Like, I feel like that's something I've complained about in the past, where it gets a top 5 and I'm like, man, I really wish that I had gotten to see what Trixie would have brought to a ball, what this person would have brought to a ball.
Why
And
you
like,
again? She brings it to you every ball.
yeah, and I think it was nice to be able to see early on like what a lot of these queens brought.
Yes.
Man, there were a lot of them.
I couldn't imagine being a queen, being there on week 4, and being told, okay, it's time for a ball. 3 looks.
I'd be
Get
like,
ready, go. I would have just grabbed my suitcase and been like, I'll see myself.
I will
Thank
leave
you.
now.
Thank you so much. I think balls are always very... I think the balls are a great way to tell what kind of a competitor you got in the ring, if you get my meaning.
Yeah.
The balls are a great indicator.
They're the
of,
windows to your hole.
But this early on, I think it is very... Because it shows who came prepared. It shows who can sew. It shows
who's cracking under pressure.
Who's cracking under pressure. It shows individual taste levels.
First, I want to talk about Ru's look, because she looked amaze.
Ugh.
Absolutely amazing. And a lot of people are speculating that wasn't actually RuPaul, that it was somebody else because Ru clearly was sick in the last episode, clearly was still recovering from being sick in this one. A lot of people are like, there was no way that was Ru. That was somebody sitting there that Ru was doing voiceovers for afterwards.
That was Trixie Mattel.
It very well could have been. So we have so many runways to go through that we want to talk about. First category is Alaskan winter swimsuit, you know, because Alaska's going to turn into a big
the ice caps
heat
are melting.
cesspool once it gets to winter time, so the queens had to bring some type of swimsuit.
For last.
I thought pretty much everybody brought like kind of boring swimsuits. I don't think anyone really like stuck out, but Eureka stuck out as being the worst. That polka dot, and then I don't know what she was thinking.
Well,
it didn't give her a shape or anything. It was just garbage.
The
and
polka
I didn't
dot
like it.
sundress thing was cute, and it was pretty with all the frills and with like, I didn't love the polka dot pattern. I loved the actual garment, and I thought it flowed really nice. It did not make sense to me for a swimwear thing. It seemed a little more like evening wear house coat type of thing. Like it's
lingerie.
It was a little more lingerie, something I would put on at the end of the night, like as I'm sipping my martini. And
maybe if you're like sitting near the pool adjacent.
Pool adjacent, but it didn't really seem like a swimsuit thing. And I get she was going for like an old Hollywood thing. For some
I didn't think it
reason,
translated.
It didn't.
And why would you be
translate for
old
me.
Hollywood in the apocalypse?
I was not overly fond, and I'm sorry, of Ms. Cracker's hair key. Problem was the braids needed to be finer on the bra because it was so big and bulky, and then she needed to swallow her pride and just do padding.
Cameron did really well in the category. Conversely, even though it was basic, she looked like a woman, and she was wearing a nude bodysuit underneath, and I'm pretty sure there was a breastplate on there too.
Yeah,
she just looked female.
She did a breastplate. She did something to cover up her abs and give her a very cinched, womanly toned body.
It was beautiful.
Which I thought was really clever.
And it was
because,
kind of sexy.
She looked very sexy. I've noticed that Cameron, I mean, it's a strong woman's face, but even in like the 20-minute makeup challenge, Cameron can beat that face, and it's a good lady.
I also really kind of liked Aquaria's luchador.
I didn't like it because I didn't understand why. I got that it was a concept and it was very, very fun, but why is it luchador? It's global warming is real. We're coming to the end of Earth's life cycle, and we're gonna have to start moving on to other planets. I don't think anybody really brought much of that into their various looks. So like, again, in that context of the ball's theme, why is it luchador? I'm not saying everybody needs to go full Fallout and do, you know, found items, bikinis, and winter coats or whatever. I'm not saying that, but...
Although that would have been pretty sickening.
It would have been sickening. It would have been. It would have been sickening. Just for me, I didn't quite understand. I needed... There was a narrative dissonance for me. It was beautiful. It was well done. And she was whipping that ponytail like there was no tomorrow. But from a story perspective, I did not understand why luchador. Why not is a great answer when I'm in a club. Why is she a luchador bikini Barbie? Why not? She's lip syncing to Starships right now, the Spanish version. You know, like whatever it is. But when in the context of the show, it raised too many why is this questions in the context of everything else for me. And that's why I did not love it.
Our next category was Miami Summer, which Miami in the summer was frozen over. So we got a lot of ice type themes, or a lot of like Elsa themes. I felt like I personally was very bored by how much white was across the board, which is why, and I'm gonna toot Cameron's horn here again, is that she went for like a really iridescent look, and then she did like the crown, and it looked like Ice Queen, but it didn't look campy. Like I felt like a lot of queens went to camp, and it's fine if you do camp.
Yeah.
But I feel like some of them were going camp when it wasn't their personality. And then also I thought Monet's look was really cool because she had the smoke, and I thought it was really pretty and really inventive, and I really enjoyed her.
I did enjoy Aquaria's look for this, just because she did do colors. It is winter, but it's winter in Miami. Miami is colorful. Miami is And it's not even winter in Miami, it's a frozen summer in Miami. Summer in Miami is colorful and it's fun and it's bright. So you would bring that into it, which is something overall I wish the girls had thought about with both sides of it. Their swimsuit and their winter look was, yes, it's a swimsuit, but it's because it's 100 degrees in Alaska in the dead of winter. Bring that to it. Don't have it just be a bathing suit. Have it be something that would make sense for somebody living in Alaska now that global warming has destroyed everything. Which is why I will give that Aquaria bringing in that colorfulness to the winter wear was
really
a really smart move, because it wasn't just a generic winter look. Because that's the thing, most of the looks we got for the winter wear,
really generic winter.
You could have seen them in one of the Christmas challenges, any of the other winter wear-esque challenges that we have done over the course of Drag Race.
And once again, I thought Eureka looked like garbage in this particular runway because she was wearing a leotard, but then it was cut off at the legs, and it was like that line from Willem's Beatdown. It's like, see you at the flu shot line. Like, you're gonna really be out in the frozen summer with a legless unitard that really didn't have much of a story, and it was just boring.
I could almost get behind a unitard thing if you took the idea of, well, it's Miami and it's frozen over, so now I've had to change my summer wardrobe to accommodate this colder climate. I don't really remember Eureka's outfit, but I don't believe it had that element to it.
I thought Miss Crackers was cute, but I didn't necessarily get like winter from it. It was very Pink Lady, and like that's cute, but I didn't totally get like it's frozen in summer.
Yeah, the one thing I appreciated about Miss Crackers, and I wish it could have gone just a hair further, was that it did bring some sort of a weird like military survival-esque idea into it. Like it is the future and things have changed, and it just wasn't enough. That was the problem. Like, because I remember now seeing Miss Crackers and going, that could have been really cool for this whole future narrative where the world's falling apart if it had gone a little further, and it didn't go far enough.
So then we get to our final category, which is the main sewing challenge for all of them, which is Martian Eleganza. So it's like, we're leaving this Earth, we're going to Mars. Bye girl bye. I just really was let down by almost everyone. Mayhem's red and gold number was not the tea. Monet's was so badly constructed, and I'm pretty sure that's upholstery fabric. I don't think that's meant to be like worn on clothing. So like the fact that she chose that was really bold, and there's not a lot you can do with a square cut like waffle fry pattern. Like there's not a lot you can do with that.
That would have been the kind of fabric to use for some sort of coat, or really just for trimming. If you don't know how to work with that fabric, that is the last fabric you should have been picking up. I'm a swervy curvy girl, and as someone who is heavier set, I know I'm not gonna pick a super bulky fabric when I go out and I buy something, because it's just going to make me look that much bulkier. To also choose that fabric when you are a little curvier, when you got a little more swerving for the curving, for the loving and the pushing and all that, that is a terrible fabric choice. Anything with the word upholstery.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it was upholstery fabric.
I mean, when she cut into it, it had like
it had like insulation.
It was a vinyl layer with, it was definitely some sort of like,
it was meant for cars.
It was for something else. It was not made for what it was being used.
But it was expensive.
It was made for like purses fabric. Or something.
Oh, that would have been fierce.
It was unyieldy. She couldn't manipulate it, and it didn't give her a good shape at all. It took away any shape she had.
When I was kind of like, on my notes, I literally have in question marks, Aquaria, Blair, Asia, like.
Asia
Palante. Cameron's was cool, but it was kind of a letdown compared to everything else.
I liked elements of a lot of different looks. Like, I loved Miss Cracker's helmet with the glitter, like the frosted glitter helmet with just enough space for her to see through. I didn't really think much of the dress.
The outfit was kind of boring.
The outfit was boring, but the helmet with the jetpack was really cute. I really enjoyed how clean Blair's overall look was, but it did not really read Space Mars balls to me. I actually really enjoyed Cameron's look. I thought at least from a story perspective, at least she went somewhere with
Yeah.
it, versus just in general, everyone else who just sort of was like,
I don't
it's
know.
Mars, and I don't know. Like, some people had a story, but they really needed to explain it, like Dusty. Whereas I got from Cameron's, like, she's in charge of communications on Mars. Like, I almost, like, could see her as, like, you know, maybe she's not Eleganza, but she's behind the scenes at the Eleganza. Like, she's the panicky PA trying to get everybody in the space, and it's not working. Oh no! And so I appreciated that approach to it. It was Mars, and it had a story. It didn't have the Eleganza of it.
She was the one saying, "Who's after Peppermint?"
Who's contrary-wise, I was not overly fond of Aquaria. I'm looking at legions of queens who have come out in basically the same exact thing, got read for filth, and maybe even sent home for it. Somewhere Carmen Carrera is throwing things. She is so mad right now. I thought her final look was interesting, but I didn't think it was anywhere near creative.
So Aquaria won the challenge, which I personally feel like it should have been Cameron, because Cameron really went for it with every one of the looks, and there was a story, and Cameron did different makeup every single time, and I felt like there was an evolution of different characters, and you could see these different vignettes going on, which I thought was important in the challenge. Like, you're not going to be going from Alaska to Miami to Mars. Like, you're not going to be the same person experiencing all these different things, because how are you going to, you know, make that transition if the world has ended? You're not going to hop on a jet.
Hopping on a jet plane.
You're trying to save your money to get on the last rocket to Mars.
Yeah.
So I appreciated Cameron's because it was vignettes of all these different stories. And with Aquaria, with her looks, they were okay. But then you get to that last look, and it's exactly what you said, that anyone could do that. But I feel like she got a pass because she's a thin person. And I feel like only a thin white person would get away with wearing basically nothing. I mean, like, yes, that's couture, yes. But she wasn't really doing anything. She didn't do anything innovative with it, where so many other queens actually like went for it and designed something, which is, I feel like, a part of the challenge, and sold the character. And I don't think Aquaria accomplished that same thing. And I feel like just because she's a thin person and can pull that off doesn't mean she should be rewarded a challenge win.
Yeah.
For that, because the challenge win tells me you did the best out of everyone. And it's like, no, you just were able to pull off a look. Like, a mannequin can pull off a look too.
Those full-size mannequins at RuPaul's Drag Con can wear Ru's gowns, but we're not giving them Emmys.
Exactly.
I don't know. Just what really bothers me about it is that Cameron did have distinct looks and stories for each thing. And Aquaria was just sort of all over the place. She was a luchador in Alaska. She was a little snow bunny in Miami, and then she was some space hooker villain in Mars. And they were like, and you had this narrative through the whole thing. I'm like, what narrative? There was no denying that Cameron's first two looks were winners for the judges.
Yeah.
And their only critique was that maybe it wasn't as, her third look wasn't as glamorous, but at least she constructed something. Aquaria cut out 3 or 4 pieces of fabric and stuck them to her.
This is the second challenge where I felt like Cameron should have been the winner, the first one being from a Rusical. And you know what I'm also almost kind of getting from Cameron is I'm almost getting like a Thorgy vibe. Is like, just did like really well, but just not well enough. Like in Thorgy in season 8. Not Thorgy on All Stars, Thorgy on season 8, where like Thorgy did really well in Snatch Game. Thorgy did really well during the live singing challenge. Thorgy did really well in, you know, all these different ones.
Yeah.
But someone else was better in the judges' eyes just by like this much more.
Just by a hair.
And I feel like that's what's happening with Cameron, is Cameron should be winning more challenges, but the narrative isn't going in her favor, and it's unfortunate. Our bottom 2 that had to lip sync were Dusty and Monet, which I think was pretty fair. I almost wish that Dusty had been replaced by Eureka, or at least Eureka had been in the bottom 3, because Eureka's look overall were garbage. 1, 2, and 3 were garbage.
Yeah, not good.
And she should be very, very, very happy that she was safe because she shouldn't have been.
And she should be very, very not saying she should have been in the top 3.
Because that was nonsense, mama.
That's funny.
They lip synced to Pound the Alarm by Nicki Minaj.
Pound the alarm.
Which was such a good lip sync from Monet. I knew that she was gonna do well. I knew it. But she was so fierce, and I think that's gonna be in like one of the top 10 lip syncs of all time. Like right next to
stellar.
This Will Be. It's gonna be right next to This
Yeah.
Will Be, and Latrice doing
You make me feel like a
Natural Woman. Like I feel like it's in the top.
I had to sing it to remember the title. It brought me back into the episode because I was hardcore checked out. I peeked in a little bit into the episode when I was worried for Asia, because I was worried that she was going to be in the bottom, which I feel like would have been just the worst thing in the world because
Oh, I got chills from that.
just the thought of it.
Yeah.
It would have been just the worst thing in the world because she did help out literally all the other queens. I will say something that made me very happy was that every single queen on that stage said, yes, she helped me, she helped me, she helped all of us.
Then the other thing that I really appreciated that I just am loving is just so much. I'm like getting emotional right now. I'm like loving her so much more because other queens in past seasons have been like, yeah, I spent a lot of time helping the other queens and that's what hurt me and this and that. But Asia was like, I helped everyone and I'm not upset at my choices and I would have done it again, is essentially what she said.
Yeah.
Like, I used my time the way that I felt like I should and I did exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I looked to her like, wow, you are a superstar. So Dusty went home.
Dusty did go home. It's a bummer because I really do love Dusty
She's
as
grown
a
on me.
person. And I wish her all the success and happiness in the world.
Like, I look like an IKEA bag.
The blue and the yellow IKEA bags together.
I should have just done this like a scarf. Showing the nips. Look how fierce that is.
It's an interchangeable look.
And you didn't want me to do this. You said you didn't like it, but look how fierce this is.
I didn't, but it's not my garment now, is it?
Oh no.
Oh my god, she's falling apart. You just do it like slightly over your face, like a little mourning veil.
So tune in next week where we will be discussing Bossy Rossi, I think is the next one. Our TV kind of cut out, so we didn't really get to find out what the challenge is.
It looks like
like a talk show or something.
like Dr. Phil, Maury type of show where
Interesting.
Ross will be hosting and then the girls will be in teams of 2 or 3 and
Which
they
is
will,
always rough.
and they will be doing like You Are Not the Father.
I hope it's not improv. I should have put a belt on. So tune in next week, and we will see you all then. And make sure to check out our podcast. The link will hopefully be below if someone uploads it on time. We'll see you all then. Thank you for watching. Leave your comments, leave your thoughts in the comments below. See you next week. Bye!